Hey guys, welcome to the reality.
Or welcome back to the reality.
It's episode 11. We have a very special guest today.
Please welcome Breydon.
Woo!
Hello, 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 hello. How's everyone doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. It's a nice sunny day in Calgary, so I was out and about, trying to live my hot girl summer fantasy.
Oh, of course.
Good. So let's jump right into it. So how is it? So how does it feel being part of such a diverse cast?
Honestly, it feels really great. Like that was something that was really important to me, especially like going into the season, is that knowing that you're a part of something that's like so much bigger than you and that like you get to not only represent for yourself, but like all the communities that like you I guess are a part of, and just knowing that you're there, that you're like rocking for them and you're, representing for them. It just like meant a lot and it was really crazy to be there.
Saying that you guys were five people that were of color in the house this year.
Yeah, which was wild. Like, I
No.
know that like they say that like, to be the most diverse cast, you're like, what does that necessarily mean? And then to know that there was like four other house guests that were also black, I was like, okay, Big Brother's doing the damn thing around here.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. And have you always been a Big Brother fan?
Yeah, so I've been like a really big fan of like the US seasons. I was like been watching since I was young, and I'd watched like a few of the Canadian seasons, but like I'd never like dove in as much as I did for the US.
For sure. Yeah, same here. This is my first season watching actually Big Brother Canada.
Ooh.
So I
And
was
how
like,
did you like? Did
I
you
loved
enjoy?
it. It's my favorite season, honestly. Like, not
She's
just
like, I
saying
hated
that.
it.
No, I swear. It was amazing. It was such a good season.
Oh, I love that. Love to hear that.
Yeah.
So what was your strategy going into the house?
Um, so listen, I had a lot of little strategies, but my main strategy is I was like, okay, I'm gonna be very well liked. That's what I want to do. I want to be, everyone's best friend. I don't want anyone, to want to see me leave.
Mhm.
And I was like, and then when they start to clue in, that's when you get the axe. You're like, when they're like, oh, why isn't like anyone saying Braden's name? I'm like, oh, time for you to go. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
we're not gonna bring that up. So that was definitely my plan. And I definitely like wanted to go in and be like, I need to work with people that could potentially be bigger targets than me. So that way, like they always get looked first before I do.
Smart move.
And who do you think was your biggest competitor in the house?
Ooh, biggest competitor. That's a good question. There's like, so I think maybe like socially, I think me and Victoria were very similar in the sense that we both were like very sociable, really like to chat people up. But like competition wise, I would maybe say someone like Jed or even Austin. Even Victoria, like lots of people were like winning all these comps, and I was like, oh, so we're all gonna win everything. Good, 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 good,
Mhm.
good, good. But I would say, yeah, probably either Victoria, even Austin. I mean, even Ty, honestly, because I feel like Ty played a very similar game to me, except he's on the opposite side of the house.
Yeah, and so at the beginning you guys were put into two teams.
Yes,
Were you
a
happy
nightmare
with your
for
alliance
me.
at first? Were you guys going like crazy? How did you feel?
So I was happy because like as soon as I walked into the house, like I immediately connected with Julie and Austin. So I was like, hopefully I was like they won't be on a team together and I'll get split up from them. So when I was like put on a team with Julie, I was like, okay, like at least I know I have like someone I could trust on this team. But I was really happy with my team, honestly. I was like, we got Joe, we got Latoya. I was like, we have some strong competitors. We have Rohan, we have myself. I was like, we're looking good. Like, we're a solid team.
Yeah.
Nice. And why did you decide to partner up with Austin?
I think I decided to partner with Austin just because we just really like got each other. Like we really were on the same like wavelength, like game wise. We were like, we want to, play the game, but like more strategically and more behind the scenes and not as much as like, oh, I'm a big giant target. And we really just like also just like have like the same like likes and we really just like vibe. I don't even know how to explain it. It's weird. Like when you go in there, you're like, oh yeah, like I don't know, like I'll find friends, or will I find like a best friend? And then when you find someone that just like gets you and really just like understands you, like, okay, let's work together. You're on the opposite team. I'll look out for you. You look out for me. It's a match made in heaven.
For sure.
Smart, honestly. And then Austin left and you
Yes,
got
a
close.
nightmare for me.
I know. We saw that and we were just like, shit. Austin left and you got close with Ro.
Yes.
Were you partnered with anybody else other than Ro at that time?
So I don't know if they ever showed it because I've like slowly started watching back the show. Very a lot to watch. But so me, Austin, Roe, and Kyle, we're all in like a 4-person alliance. So once like Austin left, then it was, or once Kyle left, then it was like me, Austin, in a row, and then obviously once Austin left, then it was just like me in a row. So like we had already like built this like trust within each other. But also that week is when I really started like talking with Ty, and Ty was like, listen, like I'm like trying to look, towards like the end of the game, and like how do I win? And I think that, sitting next to you might be like my best bet. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Vice versa. You're making a lot of sense. So I'd say at that point I was really close, I would say, with Ro, and then sort of with Ty. And then obviously there was like the whole little oddball alliance. So definitely Tina and Tara as well.
Yeah.
Nice. And what was it like winning your first comp? We were so excited for you.
It was so exciting. I just felt like, so like earlier in the season, I had like, I never like necessarily like potentially like really, really wanted to win anything early on, because I was like, I know when you win a lot of things early on, people start to look at you and they're like, oh, he's a big target. We've got to get him out. So when I finally won my very first comp, I was like, yeah. So it's like, finally, I was like, I've won something. People can't say, I'm not just floating around. I was like, I'm winning things. And I don't know why, but in most of the comps, I like ended up getting like second or third. So I was like always like confused when people are like, is Breydon a starter? And I was like, am I? But
No,
I'm so close
never.
to winning,
Played really well,
Oh,
honestly.
thank you.
All the comps, you like killed it.
Yeah.
Means a lot. But yeah, it felt very great to finally win something. It's just like very like self-rewarding. You're like, okay, I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah.
That
And
veto comp, sorry, Drew, the veto
no,
comp with the ropes, you like did that so quick. I was like,
Yeah.
you go. That was
I
crazy.
thought that Tara or Beth was gonna do. I was like, oh, they braid hair, like, they'll be so good at this, like they'll be able to just zoom through. And I was like looking at it, and I just gotta rip the knots. You just gotta rip the knots, like just go, 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 go. I think it was also hard because you had to like figure out, because I didn't untie all the knots. There
Mhm.
was like a lot left, but it was like, oh, when do I have enough slack to like go hit the button? So I was like, okay, I think if I get to here, if I just do it that far, then I should be able to go. And then luckily it worked. It could have been humiliating if I just ran and I was like, ah, oh, not there.
what was going through your head when Beth was exposing Ty like right in front of you?
Ooh, so in my mind, I was like, okay, like I know Beth is trying her best to stay. I know like she wants me to think that, she's the only one that has my best interest, and that, she's really looking out for me. So in my mind, I was like, okay, is what she's saying true? Is it not true? Is this like a ploy? Like, what are the true intentions here? So I was like, I wasn't like completely shocked, because obviously when you're in the house, you're paranoid about everything. So it's like, this was already a thought in my mind. So then when she said it, I was like, okay, like I need to think about it and really like analyze the situation. But I was like, you know what? I think this is just Beth trying to be Beth and trying to figure out a way for her to stay. So at the end of the day, like I talked to Ty and like we really like just sort of things out. And I was like, okay, no harm, no foul. We're good. Let's continue going on. Beth, sorry, I'm gonna have to hit the road.
Yeah.
For sure. And why did you decide to work with Ty?
I just knew that Ty felt like he was the odd one out between him, Beth, and Jed. And I knew that after Ro left, really didn't really have anyone. I knew Tara had Tina, and I knew that Tara was a lot closer with Kiefer than I was. So I was like, honestly, at this point, Ty's my best bet. We both haven't, won the most amount of things. We both, have played a very similar game. So I was like, if I were to work with Ty, like this is someone that I know could potentially I could go really far with in this game.
Okay.
Yeah, and throughout the season, we saw you going on the block 5 times and managed to make it safe every time.
Wild.
Like, were you like going crazy after like a couple of times? Like, what was going through your head?
So like the first time, so funny thing is that I literally told like my mom, I was like, listen, I was like, when I go in that house, I will never be on slop. I will never be on the block. I was like, if you see me on the block, no, I'm going home because something wrong has happened. And then when I went on, I was like, oh, like night one, I was like on the block, on flop. I was like, so this is how my Big Brother journey is gonna go. But after like the first time, like when the second time technically with Austin, like the stress was there, but again, like I always knew that when I was on the block, like I was next to someone that was usually always a bigger target. So I was like, unless they're gonna keep them around because like they want someone to be like a shield for them, like I have very high faith that I will be staying. So it was stressful, but after a while I was like, listen, I'm gonna go chat with people. I'm gonna, pitch why I'm good for their game. And majority of the time, like even though it's like a game of like lying and deceit, I was like, you know what? No, I think like logically, logic's on my side, and it makes sense for them to keep me. So like it was
Yeah.
stressful, but I was like, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. There's no way I can't.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone was ever like saying like Brady needs to go home. Like we were watching it back like again.
Mhm.
No one ever like said like, okay, Brady
Wild,
needs to go. Yeah.
Yeah,
crazy to me. My dream. My whole time I was like, I cannot get a vote against me. I was like, I need to just, sail through.
for
Yeah.
sure. And if you would have won that final HOH comp, who would you have taken to final
Ooh.
two?
The spicy question. Ooh, okay. So in my mind, I for sure I think was gonna take Ty.
Okay.
I wanted to be loyal to the oddballs and take Tara, but I just knew Tara was such a big competitor in that game. She did all the big moves. She got out Jed not once, twice. She
Mhm.
got evicted, battled her way back. She got out Kiefer, and like everyone in the house was like, if you get rid of Kiefer, like that is the game winning move. If you get rid of Jed, that is the game winning move. And I was like, Tara did both of those things. I was like, there's no way. Like, if I take her, like, I'm for sure getting second place. And I was like, I honestly think my best odds are against Ty at this point, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was going through my mind. So I would have taken Ty.
Okay.
Okay. And what was going through your head when you were um, giving your speech to everyone?
Ooh, it's
You
always
were
so
so calm
stressful.
and collected.
Yeah.
The way you gave it.
Stop. Me starts crying. I'm like, no, it's always so stressful. Like, I always say that if you can public speak, like, that is literally a superpower. Anyone that can, just stand in front of a group of people and just like talk and really, enunciate and really just get your point across. I'm like, you can do the damn thing. So going through my mind, I was like, okay, I was like, if you can, let everyone know like the type of game that you played, why you should win, how you literally have no blood on your hands, how you've won comps, how you've stayed below the radar, how basically everyone here is your friend. And that's why you deserve to win. I was like, if I can do this, like, I think I can win. So I was like, hey, to stay calm, cool and collected, speak, very eloquently, and, hopefully it'll all stick to
Okay.
And what do you think you learned about yourself in the house?
them. Ooh, that's such a good question. You learn so much being in there, especially for so long. I think something that I really learned was how to be like your biggest supporter because when you're in there, like it really is just you. Like you are the only one rooting for yourself. Everyone else is there for themselves. So knowing that like you have to have yourself and that you need to, to be able to pitch yourself to other people, to really be like, this is why I'm good for your game, to believe in yourself even when you don't, I think is something that I really learned about myself being in that house. I think also how much that I didn't realize that I'm like a little chatty Cathy with people. I was like, I talk a lot, like a lot. Maybe this is an issue for me.
Well, you know what? It got you far. So
Yeah.
It did,
I did.
Maybe it helps. Maybe it helps. Maybe it is a life trait that I should pursue.
Yeah. And what makes you most proud about your game?
Ooh, I think what makes me most proud is that I was very true to myself. I honestly, realistically, like I didn't lie that much. Like I could have just been lying the whole time, been a pathological liar. I think for the most part, like if people asked me a question, I was very truthful. Obviously, they didn't ask me, I wasn't gonna say. So maybe I was lying by omission. But like I think for the most part, I was very true to myself. I was very kind, I think, to everyone in that house. I didn't want to be like a malicious person or like be that girl, that's like she's just like pulling at strings for no reason. Um, and I think, yeah, just being able to like play a very like clean game, I think is something that I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah.
Nice. And do you regret anything you did in the house?
Ooh, do I regret anything? No, I don't think I regret anything in that house. I think I normally am not a very regretful person. I'm like, things happen for a reason, whatever, whatever. And I think in there, I think I did everything that I was meant to do. I mean, hopefully. There's like a big scandal that I don't know about, and I'm like, oh no, just kidding. It was that. It was that. That was the one thing I regret. Yeah.
What was like your least and most favorite comp?
Ooh, my least and most favorite comp. Ooh, okay. The one that I honestly did not like at all, that I literally thought I was gonna drop first, was the very first one, like the drop in the bucket.
Okay.
I was like I'm done. Like this is not good for me. I am going to drop immediately. It's over. The one that I liked the most, I think I liked the way that the part two HOH looked for the final, like the three-parter. The
Right.
second one that I didn't get to play in, I was like, that one looked fun. I was like, you guys have such cool outfits. You guys got to, toss the little things, run around. I was like, that was fun. So I think that one I would have really enjoyed. But I also really enjoyed the pinball one that I won,
Mhm.
obviously, for obvious reasons.
Of course. And when do you think people started seeing you actually as like a competitor rather than as people, I guess, claimed a floater?
Hmm I think it was when I won those three comps like back to back to back when I like won the veto and then the HOH and the veto again. I think people were like, hold on, like, is this guy is he gonna win out now? Like, what is going on? Maybe he's not a floater. I think that's when people started to realize, like, okay, Breydon is a competitor. He's here to play. He's here to win. So yeah, I think I kind of spooked a little bit of a few people when I started winning things.
Okay.
And what was slop like?
Honestly, it was garbage, mama. Like, it is not tasty at all. Like,
Yeah.
it's really not good. I always say that, like, it tastes like what Home Depot smells like.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Second time.
Do you know? Do you know what I'm talking
Yes.
about?
Yeah.
Kai said that too.
Yeah, Ty
Yeah,
said
it's
that.
just like very plain, very like it's just
Bland?
not good. It's just like it literally just tastes like oats. You're like, But when you mix it, Tara honestly makes the best slop muffins that I've ever encountered in my entire life.
Wow.
They taste like maple brown sugar, and you're
Mhm.
literally like, oh, I can eat these. That's fine. So without Tara's muffins, I don't know what I would have done. I would have starved. I would have withered away.
And
Easily.
how many times were you on slop for?
I think it was on slop 3 or 4 times. I
Okay.
think when we counted, because we always like everything's competition in that house. I think Ro was on slop for like 25 days, and I think I was on slop for 24. Like, it was a long
Oh my
time.
God, that's long.
Wow. I could never.
You say that, but honestly, I think you just like you're like, what am I gonna do? Starve?
Yeah. True.
Yeah, it's true.
Because that was me. I was like, I will wither away. Like, I will die if I have to be on slop. And then I was like, oh, I'm on slop again. Oh, I'm on slop again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
You find a way to make it work.
And you just got used to it, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, like those 2 weeks when it was like Invisible HOH and then Baths, I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I'll have a nice little slop patty, slop muffin, and I'll drink my tea and go on with my day.
And were you surprised that Vic put you and Austin up? Because you guys were in an alliance.
Yes, listen, I was floored. That's why, like, me and Austin were so sure that it was Ty because I was like, listen, I was like, if Ty, Beth, or Jed wins, like, they're putting me and Austin on the block. Like, let's be realistic. And we were like, there's no way Vic is gonna put us on the block. Like, we have like our final three. Like, we're so loyal to it. Like, we've all decided that we're gonna go after big targets in this house. So then, like, later on, like, I don't know if they showed it or not, but like maybe like 2 days before Austin's eviction, we were like, oh, it's Victoria. Like, we know it's Victoria. We're like, yeah. So I was like, whatever. Like, Victoria, you really messed up because we were never coming for you. And then the next week, Beth put her on the block, and I was like, Victoria, like, I told you this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But you live and you learn.
Yeah.
And you guys had to eat those peppers from number 1 to 7.
Nightmare.
You were given 4, I think, right?
No, I had the second hardest one.
Oh,
Oh, so you had
I guess 6.
six.
Yeah, because it went me, then Ty.
Oh, okay, yeah, so 6. Was it really hot?
Oh, my mouth was on fire, like scorching. Like, I felt like if I were to breathe, I would breathe lava.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I usually like spicy food, but no, that was something else. That's why I was like literally like eating the ice cream. I'm like, I'm lactose intolerant. I don't even care.
Yeah.
I was like, give me all the milk because my mouth is on fire.
And what was it like wearing the big costume you had to wear?
Oh, the bingo ball.
Yes.
Humiliating for me. Another humiliating moment in Big Brother house. That thing was also so hot.
Oh, really?
Yes. I was hoping, oh, it'll be like really thin and like whatever. No, that thing was toasty. I was sweating. I like couldn't eat with the gloves on. One day Austin had to feed me. It was a nightmare. It was fun, obviously, because you're like, oh, I get to run around in a little costume all day and I don't have to think about my outfits. Because that was another worry going there. I was like, what am I gonna wear every day? I'm like, you're always on TV. That's a nightmare in itself. So when I was like, oh, I see the right bingo ball. Okay. The ease of it all, the ease. But yeah, it was very hot. It was not fun to like run around in, move in. Luckily, I didn't have to sleep in it, but if I did, a nightmare.
For sure.
How long were you in it for? Couple hours?
No, it was like a few days. Like it was a
Few days.
while.
Okay.
Yeah, like when they say like you're in it for the rest of the week, you're like, oh, so because that's what I thought too. I was like, I'll be in it for an hour. We'll get the shot, and then it'll be done. No, I was in it for a few days.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not fun. Not fun.
And what is life now like after being in the Big Brother house?
Ooh, wow. Life is so crazy. I mean, I wouldn't say that like anything has like drastically changed. It definitely feels weird leaving because when you're there, you're like, I need to memorize every single aspect of every single day. I'm like, what happened today, where certain things are, and like just going over like the past days. So it's been very nice to just like hang out with like friends, like whether that be like social distancing or like just do like even like a FaceTime or a Zoom call. That's been really nice. And just getting to like just connect and not think about anything, I think has been like really, really nice. But honestly, dare I say it? I low-key miss being in that house with everyone. It was a
Really?
party. It was a vibe. As much as though as much as it was stressful, it was also really fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Life's been great. Life's been treating me good.
Good.
we've been
No
seeing,
complaints.
we've been seeing you on the lives.
Yes.
Yeah,
carb
I always have to
lives.
The
hop.
carb.
I always have to hop in, give my
Yeah,
two
yeah,
cents.
for sure.
Really put it down, let people know the facts,
Yeah.
so-called facts.
Can you tell us about your skincare? Because on TV you
Ooh,
Yeah, you were snapped.
stop.
were glowing.
I'm like,
Yes.
says you guys, the way you guys' skin, the little glossy
Oh,
lips, the thick hair, pulled back.
Yeah.
Love it all, love it all, love it all. That was also like a big worry for me. I remember I always turned to Austin and I was like, we probably literally look horrible on TV. Like, just so you know,
You
like
always
we
look
probably look
stunning.
horrible.
No.
Stop crying.
Stunning.
Glowing.
No, for this skincare, it is like a regime. I always say that like you should always, invest in your skincare products because like you're investing in your skin and that's something you have for literally the rest of your life.
Mhm.
So I have like a cute little like 12, like 13 step like nighttime routine.
Oh.
And then in the
Too.
day, I have like my cute little cleanser, my moisturizer, my little serums, sunscreen, so important. Doesn't matter what skin shade you are, you should always be wearing sunscreen. Gotta protect your skin from the damage. But no, yeah, skincare has always been like a big thing for me. Don't know why.
And then just going back to the house, because I just remembered a question.
Yeah.
Who do you wish you worked with in the house?
Ooh, who do I wish I worked with? I honestly wish that I could have maybe worked closer with either Jed or Kiefer like early on. I feel like if us three really would have just like bunkered down, I feel like we could have, done some damage in the house. Even Tara, like I wish I would have worked with her a lot sooner. I feel like she's a really strong competitor and really underestimated her. And I think that if we would have, worked a lot closer together a lot earlier, could have done the damn thing. I mean, we both made it super far. I mean, 2 and 3. So like, what else can we say?
Yeah.
Sure.
I also remembered something. Kiefer told you about the sunsetters when you guys
Oh
were
yeah.
sleeping. Why do you think he told you?
So at that point, I think Kiefer really thought he was going home after Jed put him on the block. He was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going home, like, because he told me and Tara the same thing. So I think he was just trying to like set us up for success and be like, you can't trust them. Like, there's a whole alliance going on. Like, this is why like you guys need to get rid of them. And I also, so in the moment, again, like you're always like double thinking things. I was like, is he telling me this to see like if I'll go like run my little mouth to Jed and expose him?
Right.
Or is he just like genuinely telling me? So I was like, okay, Kiefer. I think he genuinely wanted to do it to reach out and see if I was like willing to be like, yeah, like I'm willing to make big moves with you, Kiefer. Like they put you up. If you stay, let's gun after them, And I mean, I think from our little conversation, I think he picked it up like, okay, Breydon's down, Tara's down, like us three versus them three. Let's do it. Like I'm ready to rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it was his way of trying to pull me over to his side. And I mean,
Yeah.
it worked.
Keep
I mean,
him.
I was always,
Yeah.
We just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on and taking the time. We really
Of
appreciate
course.
it.
Anytime,
Yeah, honestly,
anytime.
thank you.
Thank you guys for having me. It's very sweet. I'm glad to
course.
be some form of entertainment for you.
Of course.
Yeah.
We loved you on TV and we loved
Yeah,
you
we
now
did.
even more.
Stop.